Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. Happy Hump Day. Today is Wednesday, very last day of March. Who could believe it? I can't believe end of March, end of the first quarter, heading into second quarter 2021. I am so excited to have Josh Zepess on the show today. We're going to talk about the Lighthouse Effect. And if you read his bio, you know he's just got an amazing story and a journey to share. And who doesn't love that jacket? He out jackets me today, which I love that so much. That jacket's amazing. Enough about me. Welcome to the Identity Archaeologist, Josh Zepess. What's up, Josh? How you doing?
I am doing absolutely amazing, sir. Thank you. It's such an honor to be on your show. And I'll just say I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too glad to be sad, too elated to be agitated, and too anointed to be disappointed. That's how I'm.
Yes, I have to remember that one.
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
A mouthful.
Well, you come up. There's so much positivity in everything that you do, and we were talking before we went live about authenticity. There's vulnerability in there, and so you're being your authentic self, and there's nothing more freeing than not having the ego get involved, which you had mentioned before. But before we take a deep dive, people love origin story. They want to know about you. You obviously weren't born and then decided you were going to wear the cool jackets. There's a whole journey in between. So give us a little 411 on you.
Yeah. So before I became Identity Archaeologist, before I got into entrepreneurship, I did 20 years. 20 years staring at gray walls, 20 years being on my best behavior. Probably have an idea what I'm talking about.
I do.
Talking about corporate America.
Yep.
That's right. I was an engineer. I sat in a cubicle, a gray cubicle, not dealing with the public, just doing the best I could do. I was a good soldier. I did everything I was told to do. And I thought I was on my way. Perfect. This is success. This is what it's all about. And then I got some wake-up calls. And I guess you could say everything I thought was right about life, about success, about business, just wasn't so right. And I had to escape. I had to get out. So I did. And
did you have a lot of naysayers at the time saying, oh my God, why are you giving up that stability?
Yes. In fact, what's crazy is I don't have a horror story from corporate America. I can't say I was fired or this happened or that happened. I was successful. I was multi six-figure engineering manager. I had it made. I was the envy of my friends, and they thought I was nuts. Like, what are you leaving this for? You've got to be crazy. But I couldn't sit in that cubicle for another 30 years. It wasn't me. It wasn't authentic. I wasn't being true to myself. I had to get out.
It's suffocating when you know that you're in a spot where you're not growing and where you're not meant to be. It becomes suffocating. It becomes something you have to try to figure out, or you have to fix the itch, and that's what you did. So what was that like when you got out? Was it all roses and unicorns? Immediately you're making triple your salary. I mean, you're just out and about and you're not dealing anymore. It's phenomenal.
It was scary as hell. Yeah. I got into the financial industry. I was in the gym industry. I did all kinds of things thinking like, and here's the problem. I wasn't ready to leave because the biggest transition that I had to make, which I didn't know at the time, was my mindset. I had an employee mindset and I was trying to be an entrepreneur. And anyone who's tried that knows that doesn't work. So the shift has to come here in how we think about things.
How did you learn that? How did you discover that?
I was very blessed to have some great mentors in the financial industry, as well as I failed a lot. I failed a whole heck of a lot. And when you fail, see, I don't like failing, but I also, when I do fail, I make sure that never happens again in that way. So I learned very quickly also. And between those two, I'm still learning, by the way.
How did you know what you wanted to, you got into the financial industry is what you said, financial services, I think.
Yeah.
So when you're progressing there, was that the stop that you felt like that's where you needed to be? Or did you continue to kind of find your way through this new adventure of entrepreneurship?
That's a fantastic question. For me, leaving corporate America, I knew that wasn't the answer. So financial industry was just a convenient opportunity, let's say. I did have a good mission. I was teaching people how money worked. I was sitting down with families that didn't understand compound interest, didn't know how to get out of debt. And I was teaching them these concepts and I was changing lives. It still wasn't truly me in that sense, but it was definitely closer to where I wanted to be. And then eventually what happened was I stopped ignoring my genius. That's how I came to be where I am today. I decided, why am I trying to open up all these other businesses? Why am I trying to make money when I can just get paid for being myself? What if I monetized what I'm really good at? And that's how Identity Archaeologist was born.
So let me ask you, because we get this question all the time, and you and I may have touched on it. A lot of people, if you said, what am I good at? They would have to stop and maybe not be able to answer you. It is talk about ego. It's also, most of the time, we're not really asked that question. And so we go along these paths and go along these journeys and kind of just follow along like sheep. And we don't really know how to answer, what am I good at? What's my passion? What do I want? What's my purpose? We're not trained to ask that.
Mm-mm. In fact, growing up, when we're young, we know what we're good at. It just comes naturally to us, and we spend a lot of time with that. And then you're right, it gets beaten out of us, is the best way to put it. Our greatness, we're told to slow down, stop asking questions, lower your head, just kind of, do what you're supposed to do like we tell you to. And we forget what we're great at. And then when we try to express it, we're shamed. We're told, like, stop bragging. Why are you bragging? Why are you being? But no, we're just trying to be our authentic selves. We're trying to just do what we do best. And for people that have a hard time with that, maybe it's time to meet an identity archaeologist, because that's the first step. I dig up all that stuff.
Let's talk about that. The identity archaeologist. How did you come up with that? It's brilliant, by the way. And define it. Give them an idea of what that actually entails.
Absolutely. So this, and it's funny because people think I just came up with this moniker just for fun, but I didn't. It describes exactly how I take my genius and I apply it to service. So identity archaeology is essentially digging up all that stuff, digging up for your genius, for your passions, for your talents, pulling all that out. Then we got to dust off the conditioning, like what you talked about, Ted. All that conditioning, all that crap we were told, all the opinion of people that don't matter, all that stuff. We got to brush all that stuff off, and then we polish it and we refine it. This is your genius, your gift. We polish it and refine it until it shines so bright, your clients, your prospects can't ignore it anymore. It just literally comes out, and you don't have to say a word. It's just there, and people come to see it. And that's what I want to do. That fits my vision. I want people to bring their gift to the world, but in a business way. See, not just like go do what you love and then you're sailing around the world and everything is happy-go-lucky. No, how are you going to provide value to the world? And then you get transfer of value in return, which is called money.
I have questions about steps, because what I love to leave the audience with is some concrete steps, one or two, or some advice you give. But we've had a lot of questions about the Lighthouse Effect. So let's talk about that, and then we'll take a little bit of a deeper dive so they're left with some nuggets. Okay.
So the Lighthouse Effect is just an easy way to understand how an authentic personal brand works. So I want you to imagine a lighthouse. A lighthouse, here's what a lighthouse doesn't do. And I want you to think, I'm talking to solopreneurs now, people, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, platformpreneurs, people that use a platform to do their business. Lighthouses don't prospect. Lighthouses don't call people and leave voicemails. Lighthouses don't take people out to fancy steak dinners. Lighthouses do nothing except stand there. They stand there and they shine. And they stand for security. They stand for safety. They stand for the shoreline, which is what every single ship in distress wants. That's all they want. So I want you to imagine your clients are the ships in distress. They have needs. They're waking up 3 o'clock in the morning in a cold sweat because they've got a problem that you can solve. The problem is they can't find you. They're looking for you. You're not shining. You're not letting that out. You're too busy doing all the sales stuff and all the convincing and the chasing and the repelling, but you're not just being authentic. You're not saying, hey, this is my genius, this is what I'm good at, this is my product, this is my service, here's how I do it, and this is why I care. Big part of authentic personal brand is sharing why you care. People want to know why you care long before they care what you know.
Yes.
And if you can do that, if you could just shine and just say, this is what I stand for, and I don't care if you like it or not, but damn it, this is what my life means, people are going to come there. It's called attraction process. Look, confidence and conviction is sexy.
Very.
It just is.
I love the fact that we're talking about really taking that deep dive inward, because there's so many buzzwords out there: finding yourself, self-help, self-actualization. I mean, they all have their place, but I think people say the words a lot and really don't know a step or two to take. So let's talk about that. If you can give us all some nuggets, maybe some things. If somebody's listening right now or listening later and says, okay, I love what he's saying, I don't know how to break out of this mold, I don't know how to get out of this tight cubicle prison, I call it, gilded cage, I sometimes refer to it as, and I don't know how to break it, how would you suggest they do it?
Good question. I will say one thing, that it does help to have a third party ask the right questions, because I truly believe we all have the right answers. That's not the challenge. We know exactly what we need to do or what we want to do. It's just we don't ask ourselves the right questions to get to those answers. But here's a question I want to give you that you can answer that will help you start this process. And the question is, if you were paid in happiness is the national currency. Money's gone. There's no more money. So the happier you are doing what you're doing, the more wealthy you are in society. What would you be doing? Start with that question, because here's my premise. Everything, and I mean everything, is monetizable. And if everything's monetizable, why would you start with a business idea first? Why would you start with a money-making idea? If everything's monetizable anyways, why not start with the one thing that you're better at than everyone else you know? The thing that makes you the happiest, the thing that makes you the most proud. Start there. And there's a corollary to that question too, if you want.
Please tell us, yes.
So the corollary is very straightforward. If you had to monetize it, how would you? If God came down and says, Ted, this is your gift, this is your genius, you're not allowed to do anything else. I'm not going to let you. You have to find a way to make money and make a living at this. How would you? Gun to your head, however you want to phrase it. If you had to, how would you? And when you phrase it that way, it's amazing how fast your brain starts to ideate and come up with ideas and how to do it.
I struggled with that for a very long time. I mean, I've always known that I like branding and marketing and relationships, but I could never figure out how to convince anyone else that it was monetizable. Part of the problem was I didn't believe it either. I thought, oh, of course I'm going to do 750 tasks for no money. I love what I'm doing. I didn't understand it. And so if you're listening, you don't have to have the answer. The process starts when you begin to question it, and then you begin to develop the answer. It took me a long time. People would say, you're one of the best PR people, Ted. You're one of the best brand ambassadors. And I wouldn't know how to respond, even though I preach vulnerability and thank you. And I had no idea how to wrap my arms around that. It took a very long time, but I worked at it, is the point. I took what you said and I just literally took baby steps until I could do it. But it's so important, because we will talk ourselves out of absolutely everything we are supposed to get and deserve. We'll talk ourselves out of it every time.
That's right. And you said something really important about being open to receiving money. If you're providing value, it's okay to receive value in return. But we get very shy about money. And that's why we end up trying to donate. So in corporate America, the mantra was either you can love what you do or make lots of money. It was an either or. And I said, wait a minute, that can't be true. There's got to be an and in here. There's got to be a way to love what you do and make money. And there is.
Perfect. All right. So tell us what you are doing, though. So you're the Identity Archaeologist. You coach. Tell us about what you do so that people can engage you. Like, they obviously are loving your conversation and your points, but they also would like to kind of know more about maybe how they can engage you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my number one goal, anytime I work with anybody, I want to raise the ROI of every single conversation they have, whether it be in person, in networking, in marketing, in sales. And the best way to do that is just start with that authentic personal brand, start with a conversation, start with discovering. Let's just start with discovering and let me ask the right questions. That's what I do best. That's one of my geniuses, is I know how to ask the questions that bring all this stuff to the surface. Let me dig a little bit. And it is very vulnerable. Don't get me wrong. You've got to be very open, and I keep a very safe space. I'm very careful about that. But the process is so eye-opening, and we create together. We ideate and we create together, and it's amazing when people walk away. They're like, I have so much more clarity. That's my favorite C word.
I love
clarity.
That word.
And here's the cool thing.
I love the fact that you help bring that to the light, because that's what it is. I think a lot of us, you said it, we all know the answers. We don't have, somebody's not asking the right questions, or we're not encouraging them to, something's not going on. And so if you help them, you ask the right questions, guys, I know it can be, some of the stuff that we're all holding on to is painful. There's a whole bunch of stuff that blocks us. That is our limiting beliefs is another word for it. And I feel like if you have somebody like Josh that can help pull it out, how awesome is that? Because every time something gets pulled out, it leaves more room for the good to come in. And that's why you have to continue to work on it, in my opinion.
That's right. And you reminded me of something that something I teach in some other areas is quit quitting. I always say quit quitting. People try and stop doing all the bad stuff. And I said, you know what? What if you just did the good stuff? What if you focused so much on the good stuff? You didn't have time to be distracted. I don't have time for distractions. I don't have time for procrastination. I don't have time for all this other stuff out there. So instead of trying to actively quit and fix a bunch of things, just focus on what you enjoy. Focus on the good stuff, the productive things, the things that serve you, and the other stuff falls away. And that's a way to simplify life. Yeah.
All right. So tell everybody, we've got a lot of questions. I mean, a lot of people want to know how to reach you, but you guys know I put his website scrolling across the bottom there. But Josh, tell them how they can get in touch with you. What's the best way to look you up? What social media platforms you're on, and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Yes. Facebook and LinkedIn are the main social media platforms. I want to share, I'm doing a personal mission right now that I'm on, and that's the best way if you want to have a good conversation with me. I'm challenging myself. This is nothing for anyone else. It's just for me. I want to help 100 solopreneurs answer the question, what do you do? Effectively, persuasively, and in a compelling way that makes people actually not only want to book time with you, but also they'll show up to their appointment. And you solopreneurs, you know what I'm talking about. How many times have you been
stood up?
Stood up. There you go. That's the word.
I know what you mean. Immediately as you're saying it, I'm going to the many times it's happening.
So I want to stop that stuff, and I want to help people create their unique, what I call CFI, compelling first impression for business. So if you want to do that, if you want to take advantage of it, I'm doing it for free. This is a public service. It hits me in the heart when I see a good solopreneur with a lot of value stumble over that question. Hey, what do you do? Well, I'm a this or I'm a that. And it's like, you're not doing yourselves any favor. So let's create something amazing together. And that's your business asset. You can take that, whether you become my client or not, doesn't matter. It's something you can have forever and it will serve you. So if you want to do that, it's on my site. It's on the homepage. It says master your CFI, register for it, schedule a time. And that's the best way. And that'll give me a chance to get to learn more about you too.
You're a joy, my friend. Thank you so much. So good. So many good nuggets, not just the one I asked for. Many, many, many great nuggets. You guys reach out to Josh. He's just as accessible and wonderful as he is live here. Back to the authenticity part.
Yes.
But I would love to have you come back. You have lots of nuggets. So anytime you have something you want to talk about, I'm all in. I think what you're doing is great. And I got to find out where you got that jacket.
Yeah, I need to also. I've had this for years. I don't remember anymore.
You're amazing, Josh.
Probably Burdines or something.
The Identity Archaeologist. You guys reach out. Thank you so much for being on. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
Pleasure.